What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm just an American guy on a journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Today, we're going to be reacting to 10 things that will shock you about London, England. I've probably watched 3 or 4 videos specifically on London at this point, and it's an absolute beautiful city. Seems like it has an amazing culture, has a lot to explore, and definitely the type of place I want to spend an extended amount of time when I visit the UK. It's one of the reasons why I think I need at least a month for the first visit to the UK, because I want to spend, I don't know, at least a week or so just exploring London, because it is the largest city in the UK and it's got such an amazing history that I feel that it needs at least a week to give it justice, you know. But anyways, what do they mean by shocking here? I'm not sure if they're talking about bad things that are shocking or good things that are shocking. So I just thought this video would be a good next step in understanding London on this journey. So let's go ahead and check out the 10 things that will shock you about London, England.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in London. And what we have for you today are the 10 things that are going to shock you when you do come to London, because this is one of the most visited cities in the world for good reason. And the first thing that's going to shock you when you're here is, dun, 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 the sticker shock. London is expensive. Hotels, accommodation, going out to eat, the non-free museums, they're all really pricey. And the exchange rate usually doesn't go in your favor if you're from the US or Europe and things like that. So that's the first thing that's going to shock you. Is
£18 to visit something. I don't know.
Oh my God, this is an expensive place to go. Now, the second thing that's going to...
That doesn't really shock me. Now, granted, I haven't been there, and I know since 2016, let's say 6 years ago, things have probably gone up in price, but that doesn't surprise me. London, I know it's a huge tourist city, and, it makes sense that things would be more expensive there. But maybe when I get there, I would be shocked at even how much more expensive it is than I think. I don't know.
Shock you is, well, how can I say this? It's probably the thing that's going to induce your heart attack shock when you are here, and that's the fact that they drive on the left side of the road. So you need to look right and then left and then right, because you're coming from Germany or the US. You look left and then look right and go. Here, the car's coming from the other way, and I can't tell you how many tourists I've seen looking the wrong way, and they step out, and then a cab driver's like, and they're like, oh my God. I mean, I saw 3 people yesterday almost die because they were looking the wrong way. So that's the second thing that'll shock you is...
That doesn't shock me, but I can see his point on possibly, because I've never really had to cross streets and things like that when people are coming from maybe in the opposite direction of what I'm used to, driving on the left side, So possibly, I guess that could take you a little bit to get used to maybe, but I don't really, that's not shocking to me. That's just something that I would definitely have to keep an open mind on, that I need to possibly, I can't imagine what it's like to cross a crosswalk with people coming from the left. So yeah, because here you're mostly going to be looking to the right. You're going to look to the right twice. Like you used to look to the left, look to the right, and you looked at the right more often. So I can see how that could be a little bit confusing to begin with, but not that big a deal.
Cars going the other way, heart attack inducing, oh my God, I almost got killed there. The third thing that's going to shock you when you come to London is how international this city is. I know we're in England, but you don't really feel like it all the time. Well, yes, you do when you got, the Buckingham Palace over here, Trafalgar Square, Piccadilly Circus, but the city truly is international. Probably the most international city in the world. You're going to have your high tea, at 4 o'clock with crumpets and scones and all those things. It'll be served to you by an Italian waitress, or you're going to go to the pub, right? The quintessential London experience is going to eat at a pub. Go getting a pint at the pub. Well, that person pouring that pint might be from Poland. And this city is so international, so it's got great food from around the world. People from all over come here, so that is pretty cool. But it is shocking how not super English it is when you are here. But there are still some cool English stuff, like seeing the change into the guard and stuff like that. Now,
I've definitely been told that in the comments, that when I do come to London, when I do come to the UK, I need to make sure that I am spending a lot more time outside of the larger cities and in the countryside. And I had already planned on that would be what I mostly do. I'm definitely, like I say, I'm definitely going to spend a good deal of time in London and hopefully in other cities. I want to visit many times to the UK once I start coming. But I definitely know that to get the true English, Scottish, Wales, Northern Ireland, experience from being in the UK, you need to go out into the countryside because these cities are going to be more international. And that's great in a lot of ways, but it does, if you're trying to experience the culture on a deeper level, the actual original culture, the English culture in this case, definitely going to want to visit and spend a lot of time in the smaller villages and towns and countryside. But yeah, makes sense.
The fourth shock we have on there is kind of help you with the sticker shop side of things, and that is how many great free things there are to do in London. Yes, it's expensive, but the best museum, the British Museum, where you can see artifacts from Greece and sarcophagi from the pharaohs in Egypt and all kinds of things like that, it's free to go in. The Tate Modern, you can go see the V&A where they have copies of great masterpieces and artwork from around the world. I mean, there's so many great free things to do. Just standing outside and taking in the historic buildings, you're gonna feel like I'm on a movie set. I saw this in a movie. You have that feeling when you're here, and that's what's really cool. And they have all kinds of great free things. So don't get suckered into going to some of the pay stuff. Some of the pay stuff is worth it. For example, going to Westminster Abbey, that is well worth the price of entrance. Other ones like Madame Tussauds, I don't know if it's really worth 25, 30 pounds, so be careful with that. The fifth thing is going to shock.
I definitely look forward to visiting some of the museums and stuff in London because, they just have some of the, I don't really know, I've been to some museums, but nothing like what I expect I would find in London. I mean, they have just amazing items at these places, from what I understand, and things you couldn't see anywhere else in the world at all. And so that's definitely something I really look forward to.
Innocuous. Look, it's sunny today. We actually have nice weather in London. Look, it doesn't rain every day here. I know I like to joke about the bad weather in London and the bad weather in England, but I'll be honest, you can have great days like this where it is sunny and the people go out to the pubs and all kinds of stuff and really make the city come alive. So if you are here, believe me, the weather may shock you that you can get a great sunny day like this. However, probably the real shock is it does rain a lot when you are here, so make sure you bring a jacket because, believe me, I know I actually have a jacket in my bag just in case this beautiful day ends and we have a little London shower come through. So we've gotten away from the clouds and the really nice sunny weather and warm weather, and now it's getting a little bit chilly. I need to have my jacket. So let's finish off number 6 through 10 of the 10 things that are going to shock you when you come to London. So
the weather doesn't shock me. I know that it probably rains a little bit more than I'm used to there. But from what I gather in the comments, at least when we've talked about weather in the past, it seems like the rain gets a little overblown. Like it's a stereotype that England is always raining, right? And it doesn't seem to be that case based off the comments. Not on the level that stereotypes make it seem, at least.
The sixth thing that might shock you when you come here is how much people do drink here. Men, women, not children, but it's just like how many pubs there are out there throughout London, how many bars and restaurants and nightclubs and stuff like that, and how much people really love to have a pint. If you're going down, you see the people leaving Canary Wharf from work and they're doing pub crawls on a Thursday. You see them pub after pub after pub, and it's amazing how much people do drink here in London, and they drink a lot, whether it's a pint of stout or an ale or a Peroni, which seems to be popular now, or a gin and tonic if you're in White Castle or whatever. There is drinking going all over the place, and that does kind of shock travelers because they're like, the English are so buttoned up and refined and they're sitting there having a pint like all the time. But that is one of the quintessential things of coming to London, is going to the pub and having a pint, having to get the ale where they crank it out for you. And I mean, people, if you watch my videos before, I haven't always been the biggest fans of the ales, but on this trip I've made it a point only to drink ales while I've been here, and they're starting to grow on me, and you'll see that that is just part of coming here. But it'll shock you is how much people do drink here, which leads into the
that's definitely on my list, is do some pubs, man. Just that seems like one of the things you have to do when you go to London or anywhere in England, really, to be honest. What is the drinking age there? I'm just curious. In America, our drinking age is 21. I believe it's earlier than that. I believe it's 18 in England. I know some parts of the world is 16. I don't know if it's 16 or 18 in England. That would be that right there would be shocking, to be in America, and to see some 16 or 18-year-old drinking. That would be something that would be shocking. So I think that might be a little bit shocking, to be in a pub and maybe see someone that obviously looks, 18 or 16, drinking, because you really wouldn't see that here in America. So that would be interesting.
Seventh thing that might shock you is the pub's last call is at 11.
What?
They're drinking a lot. They start early in the day. But then the pubs close at 11. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, think about it. If you're coming from Spain or Portugal on your trip, at 11 o'clock, people are starting to think about maybe getting ready to go out. Here, pubs are closed. You got to find another, nightclub or something like that to go to. So it does kind of shock people when they're like, wait, it's 11. The pubs are closing? What's going on here? So do realize that the pubs do close at 11. So get your drinking in earlier, I guess.
Wait, is that true? The pubs close at 11? Wow. Okay. Am I missing something here? That's so weird to me. Because a pub is what we call a bar in America, right? I mean, that's the same thing. Except a pub is specifically a bar that serves food. I'm not really sure what the distinction is. I just know a pub is a place you can go, drink but 11, if it's the same thing as a bar here, right? Like here, generally in America, the average last call would be probably 2 a.m. And I'm thinking in a city like London, the largest city in the UK, world-renowned international city, 11 o'clock for the pubs to close that's really early. Wow. If that's true, why is that? Why do they close early? But he did make it sound like other places were open later, maybe nightclubs and stuff. But, anyway, I'm just curious. That's interesting.
That might be shocking for tourists that are coming here for a good pub time. Good time.
That's very shocking.
Now, the eighth thing that shocks tourists when they come here is how good the tourist infrastructure is here. The English are extremely well organized, and here in London, it's no different. And what's cool is that means there's tons of hotels, there's tons of restaurants, there's tons of nightclubs and bars and theaters you can go to, and operas and all kinds of really.
That's an English breakfast, isn't it? I think it is, because I don't usually blood sausage comes with it, right? So I don't know. Is that English breakfast? It's got the baked beans. I think this is toast, some eggs, some sausage, some ham. Looks delicious. My wife doesn't like baked beans, but I do. I really enjoy them. This is definitely something I would enjoy. So look forward to that.
Cool things you can see famous actors work on a play on the West End, and you could do all this really cool stuff here. But also, if you're a tourist, you can do this on your own with all the information that's out there. The tube is easy to use. You can go get your Oyster card and top it up and do that. Make sure you tap in and tap out.
Somebody to look into is the tube, because I don't really know much about it.
You can really get around, and the cops will help you, and the people will help you, and it is a really cool thing. So if you do get lost, ask the shopkeeper, hey, which way should I go? They will do a good job. But that tourist infrastructure here, man, that organization that the English have, plus with all the tourists here, they really kind of put it together well. And what's funny is you see the Londoners here, and it's almost like, they know that there's lots of tourists here, but they just kind of go on with their lives, and sometimes it doesn't seem like they interact with the tourists or notice them there. It's just part of their normal day stuff. And it is kind of cool. But man, the tourist infrastructure here, shockingly how good it is. You'll be fine. That's why I tell people looking for a first trip to Europe, England and London's a really easy deal because they have it all set up for you. So that is kind of shocking how well it is done. Now, the ninth thing that might shock you when you come here is how big this city is. Look, you are going to be using the tube to go to all these different places around the city, but when you look at how big London is, what you need to realize, there's different neighborhoods and all kinds of different stuff all over. Last night we went out on the east, on the East End, and we went, saw a show the night before in the West End. Maybe go to Greenwich and go do something. Soho, Notting Hill, Chinatown. There's so many many different districts throughout here that people think, oh, well, London must be kind of a historic center. I see the city of London, I go see the tower.
So when he says like Greenwich, I've heard of Greenwich. I don't know what's there. I don't know why I know the name, but is that a borough of London? Is that what Greenwich is? Because I know there's different boroughs. I forgot how many. I need to do a video on that. But is Greenwich a borough?
Tower of London, and I'm done. No, go explore when you're here. See the other districts around town, because you can find fantastic restaurants, different nightlife, different cultures, different people in each of these kind of districts. And it is a really cool thing, because then you really see, remember that internationalism, the really melting pot of London? You can really see that when you go and explore the different neighborhoods. So, and the 10th thing that'll probably shock you when you come here to London is the cops don't have any guns. Or if they do have guns, they have like big machine guns.
Wow.
I know in the US our cops always have a firearm on the side, but here the bobbies, the cops here, they don't. They have their walkie-talkie and some other things. And the thing is, they're really super friendly and helpful. So if you're not sure where to go, the cops, again, that service and that tourist infrastructure and the manners and all those kind of things that you have here in England, they come out and the cops are very helpful. Oh, you need to go this way, sir. Go that way, sir. They are fantastic, but not having the gun is kind of shocking sometimes for tourists. But then when they see the guys with the big machine guns, they're like, oh, wow. So when they do have them, they really do have them. So that can be shocking for a tourist. Anyway, those are just 10 little things that might shock a tourist when they come here to London. It's a fantastic time. I've been here many times. I highly recommend it. The British Museum is one of my favorite museums in the world, and it's free, so go enjoy that. If you want to learn more, 5 things you're going to love and hate about coming here, what you should eat when you're in England, maybe an itinerary through Europe, check us out on our website at waltersworld.com.
Well, I thought that was a pretty good video. I thought not most of them didn't really shock me. Shock wouldn't be the word I'd say. Most of them was like, kind of surprising. I already knew, some of those. Some of them just make sense to me. But I did not know the cops generally don't carry guns. That is shocking, actually. That's something I don't know. I'm in America. I wouldn't expect that. You know what I mean? I already knew that, guns were not really something that were, as easily accessible, in the UK. But for police officers, I assume that, they would, I guess I just assumed they would carry them. That's interesting. But he did say some carry big guns and some don't carry it at all. So I guess basically some cops are just walking around. If something happens that they needed someone to go, they would call on their walkie-talkie. And I'm guessing they would be somewhere in the general vicinity. I don't know. How does that work? If something was a serious crime was to happen, what would the cops without any weapons, what would happen? They would just call in, I guess, for backup with weapons. That's interesting. But that doesn't really bother me. That's just interesting. That is kind of shocking. But for the most part, I think that the rest of this was, I already thought that London was going to be a pretty expensive city. It's definitely one of the many reasons that it takes a while to save up for a type of trip that I want to have when I come to the UK, because I want to be able to, that first time, I don't want to just come for a week or even 2 weeks. You can do a lot in a week or two, sure. But like for the first visit, I come to, the UK after doing all the exploring I'm doing on this current journey that I'm doing, learning all this stuff from home. I want to be able to really dig in and really explore that first time. And then, the second, third time, sure, come for shorter periods of a week or two to a specific area. But that first time I kind of want to go to many different areas, London being one of those that I specifically want to spend a week or so in. But yeah, so the next time I'll come for a shorter period of time. But that first time I definitely want to come for a longer time. Like I said, the left side driving, not a big deal. I know that that happens. And obviously, I didn't know that Germany was right side driving. But yeah, I think the only time that would come an issue, especially if I'm not driving, is basically when I'm crossing the street and I'm like, I got to look for cars coming on the left instead of just on the right. So, yeah, but, world-class museums. I haven't specifically looked at the museums really yet. I've seen a little bit in some other videos about some of these museums, and they seem really awesome. I definitely want to kind of do a few videos on some of these museums to get a good idea of what museums I might want to check out the most. But the pub culture, definitely want to check out some pubs. Absolutely. Definitely have to do that. That's a quintessential UK thing you have to do when you come to the UK. And I'm guessing London would be a great place to do that. I'm guessing pubs would probably be a good place to get fish and chips. I'm not really sure about that, but I just have that impression. But yeah, overall, I thought this video, explained a few things that are a little shocking, but I think this video would be specifically geared to me before I started this journey at all. Like, I hadn't learned anything yet. This would have been really shocking if it was one of my first videos, like first week or so. But now that I've looked at different UK videos and England videos specifically, London videos specifically, I know a lot more about it than I did. Still have a very, very, very long way to go. I've just scratched the surface with anything to do with anywhere in the British Isles. So I mean, it's going to take a very, very long time before I feel at all even a bit truly knowledgeable on, the British Isles. But I got to say, I am very happy with what I've learned so far. I am so far ahead in the amount of knowledge I have about, you guys in the UK now than I was when I started this journey. I mean, it's light years ahead. I'm very happy with the progress I've made on this journey to learn about the UK and Ireland. But yeah, guys, when I'm about to take my trip to the UK for that first time, I'm definitely going to let you guys know. I'm going to film, different parts of it and things like that. But I'm definitely going to, at that point, ask people from the UK to give me ideas of what's the most important things to see and most important places to stop at and the most important things to do. I'm really excited about it. It's going to take me a bit of time to save up for this because, like I said, this is not going to be a cheap journey. It's going to be an expensive trip, especially that first time. I'm going to bring my wife and my 4-year-old daughter, and I want to just do a large exploration that first time and really dive in as much as I can. And I want to hopefully stay a month or over a month that first time. So yeah, you can imagine, the accommodations, the food, seeing different museums and things like that, the travel itself. I mean, it's going to be a bit pricey. So that's why I can't come tomorrow. But we'll get there. In the meantime, I'm just going to continue learning and hopefully saving up for getting there, as soon as we can. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or other suggestions you might have for things I might want to check out. And don't forget to subscribe and to click that notification bell to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.